Okay, so here are my bold predictions for week 1 of the 2021 season. 3 players, 3 bold predictions, 3 stat lines that I think are going to be more likely to happen. And the first one begins with Russell Gage going up against the Philadelphia Eagles, my beloved Philadelphia Eagles. And here's the thing. I think that Russell Gage is going to feast off this secondary. The Philadelphia Eagles were one of the worst defenses when defending the slot wide receiver. And because of that, Avonte Maddox will have his hands full going up against Russell Gage, who should get a majority of that target share behind Calvin Ridley. I think that if Russell Gage gets anywhere between 15% of the target share, he will have a phenomenal game. So I think that he's going to get, here's my prediction. 5 receptions, 87 yards, 1 touchdown, equating for 19.7 fantasy points in PPR formats. So start Russell Gage, no joke. I think he's going to be phenomenal. Play him in week 1 versus my beloved Philadelphia Eagles. It pains me to say it, but that is my bold prediction. Number 1 for week 1. Next one we're going to get into, my second player that I have is one that I'm really high on. Trey Sermon is going to feast off of the Detroit Lions. Now, I think that 2 things are in play here. Number 1, Detroit was one of the worst run defenses in 2020. They haven't made any changes over the offseason that may change that narrative. So I'm going to go with the talent winning out here with Trey Sermon. I think that the 49ers are going to get to an early lead, and because of that, they are going to, I think Kyle Shanahan will release the talent that is there with Trey Sermon with a favorable matchup to get the rookie's confidence going. And I think he will not only get involved in the running game, but he may also get some work in the passing game. And that's why my prediction for Trey Sermon is going to have 14 carries for 67 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 receptions for 38 yards for a total of 20.5 fantasy points in week 1. Now, my third and final player that I believe will have a great game is going to be my 100 guy, and that is, of course, Tyler Higbee. I think he's going to be phenomenal. So here's the thing. The Bears give up the second most fantasy points to the tight end in 2020, and just like many teams, they did not address this position one bit. So I think that this is going to play a huge factor. And secondly, I went over this when I chose my 100 guys for that 2021 season, and that is, of course, Tyler Higbee is going to benefit with Matthew Stafford being his quarterback. Stafford has a history of really targeting the tight end effectively, and also last season when Matthew Stafford went up against the Chicago Bears, he had TJ Hawkinson who put up the most yards against these Bears. And I think this will happen again with the fact that this Rams offense has loaded with Robert Woods as well as Cooper Kupp there as their wide receivers that they're going to mainly target. So big games, I'm really predicting for Tyler Higbee. My stock prediction is going to be 7 receptions on 10 targets for 91 yards, 1 touchdown for a total of 22.1 fantasy points in week 1 versus the Chicago Bears. So with that, those are my bold predictions. What I'll do is I'm going to keep a tally of this so that way you guys can see that I'm holding myself accountable. So I don't act like I'm going to be this perfect analyst that's going to get everything on the mark. It's impossible. I'm not going to get it all the time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking to the very end of this video. If you found value in it, please consider subscribing. I also encourage you to like this video, help spread it so that way the algorithm can help spread this video out as well as this channel. And as always, if you have any questions or need to get a hold of me, all my social media information will be found in the description below. Thank you once again for watching. Best of luck to you in week 1. And as always, keep it 100.